Hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, and everywhere else I'm streaming. I'm JoviBeauty, and welcome back to the JoviB Show. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Thank you for coming. Okay, so today's show is going to be about what the hell is happening, and let's just listen. The last time I was on here, they breached they breached the fucking Capitol, and I shut down. And I want to talk about everything that's happened since then. Because this whole shit is ridiculous. It is so like, what the fuck? You know, it's just like I literally spent like the next 3 days glued to CNN. Like I could not comprehend what the fuck. Well, I can. Of course, we can all comprehend. Everyone. Sorry, hold on. Let me just drink some water and lower my damn tone. I just thought about that. Okay. All right. We're together. We're together. We're together. Okay. We can all comprehend what the hell that was. The treason is never ending for Trump and his supporters. I am just so baffled as to how you can storm the Capitol. It was like the French Revolution. Y'all remember learning about the French Revolution back in school, where they, took Marie Antoinette and her children and her husband, Henry? I don't remember. Louis, whatever his name was. And they beheaded them. That is what would have occurred that day. Listen, we're Black. We're going to stand back and let these people do whatever they want. If they want to go ahead and kill each other, all I have to say is please stand back and don't get caught up in their bullshit. But I do want to say that it is so funny that when shit like this happens, it reiterates to the world, to us. You know what I thought about this week? I know I ain't even dropped the intro. I don't even care, child. But you know what I thought about this week? I thought about the fact that, when shit go down in this country, we as Black Americans are that's the wrong one. We as Black Americans are literally the only people in this country that can and will put country over race, because we should be able to, as citizens of a country, and this is the problem for us, is that our race to these people outweigh who we are and the respect we should have by being American citizens, right? But I just find it like, you see the video of that guy, the security guard, I forget his name at this moment. He was running through the Capitol. When we first saw, we didn't know exactly what was happening, but he has forethought to try to keep these rioting protesters who literally have these motherfuckers probably had a guillotine, okay? And we're trying to murder senators and murder them, okay? Let's just be real. And it took for this Black man to save their damn lives. Everyone has stepped down from their position in Washington. All of the people who was in charge of the Capitol Police, everyone has stepped down. You know what I found very interesting? They replaced one of them with a Black woman. And I need people to understand, when we Black Americans say this is our country, we mean that shit. Okay? Because whiteness Whiteness and white people of this country, okay, has proven time and time again, and they just did it again by storming the fucking Capitol and thinking that shit even makes sense, you know, that they choose race over country. And the only people that can be counted on to protect, to actually literally protect this country for the basis of this country are us. But can you blame us? This is our shit. We pay, they done snatched us and brought us over here, and from the top of North America to the bottom of South America, all the Caribbean islands and everything in between, we have built this shit with our blood, sweat, and fucking tears. We have built this. Our mothers, our grandmothers, our great grandmothers and fathers built this whole fucking country. No wonder these fuckers take it for granted. They never had to work for anything in their life. They didn't actually build this country. So there's no solidarity to this country. The solidarity is to their whiteness. These people really think they did something. The Confederates lost. It's just, it's so funny and so tragic. Child. So let's pull up some articles, child. They trying to impeach Trump now. Like me, you, and everybody else with sense. I've been screaming treason because again, I love this country. Okay. I don't want to be here too much no more because this sucks being black here, but I still love to be American. I love the benefits of being an American citizen. I went to school here. I was born here. Like, this whole shit is crazy. They're talking about, the Capitol Police. A whole bunch of the white officers were involved in this shit. The FBI is out here tracking people down and throwing federal charges on them, which, thank God, because if they didn't, we're literally here preparing every time I turn on the TV for these people to raid capitals all over the country. You know what's so funny? I've been having conversations with people, and I don't think we don't be wanting to get it sometimes because we sit up in this bubble where we want to think so bad that it's just the Becky Lou's and John Toms from West Virginia who were inbred and, who are just poor and they Mountain Dew folks, the people who just drink Mountain Dew and ain't got no teeth and all of this crazy shit, right? We act like it's only them who do this shit. But the reality is, it was January the 6th. 2.5 weeks after Christmas, and majority of these people were able to, in a whole pandemic where millions of people are unemployed, and these people were able to pay to get their ass up on a plane to come out to Washington, D.C. to start some shit. These people got plane ticket money. The pandemic have not hurt them financially. Everybody is not in the backwoods of West Virginia. Some people live in gated communities and on acres and acreages of fucking land. Because everyone seemed to be like, because it's them. No. No, it's a large percentage. It's a large percentage of all of them. All of them. If you can sit up and be a Trumper, okay. And then I also heard that, well, if they do, all of the Trumpers aren't going to pop off. If you are I need people to comprehend that this is a cult. Have y'all ever seen American Horror Story Cult? It was the episode that came out because American Horror Story every year has a whole dynamic, right? A whole theme. It was election. It was the year after Donald Trump won, a couple of months or whatever after he won. The episode came out, and it was basically like this innuendo creates a cult. Like it's bad enough that the whiteness of this country has been radicalized, but it has been radicalized in such a way that these people are literally Jim Jones ass motherfuckers and don't even recognize it. You can't rationalize with cult members because they're so indoctrinated that they have to believe the Kool-Aid that they drink. They have to. And that may be the scariest part because they truly, it's one thing to be like, my whiteness makes me feel important because the world says so. That's one thing. It's a whole other thing to truly to take that and take it farther and be like the Democrat. Have y'all heard the Quanon, whatever they call themselves? Child, they talking about the Democrats have a whole pedophile ring. Listen, I don't know what the Democrats do in private, but if the Democrats have a whole pedophile ring, who in the ring with them? The Republicans. I don't comprehend. Okay, I can't comprehend. A motherfucker could sit up and tell you, I'm gonna march with y'all. We're gonna go overthrow the capital of the United States of America. And you went along with it. It's like when my mama used to say, if everybody jump off of the bridge, you're gonna jump off of the bridge. They all jumped off the bridge. Why? Because they're cult members and they literally would have sat there and drank the Kool-Aid. If Donald Trump would have handed out Kool-Aid and said, this is the last stance, everybody drink, they would have drank it. You have to be afraid of people like that. My daughter, I don't know why, she's having a serial killer moment. Okay. She wrote me, she did for her own benefit on what was his name? A serial killer. She wrote me a whole essay, sirs and ma'ams, on a serial killer. I forget who she wrote it on. Wait a minute. It don't even matter. She really was asking me about a serial killer and wrote an essay on a serial killer that I had to edit. Okay. This is not for school. I don't know what's wrong with this girl. But then she started asking me about that serial killer that was out, and I can't remember the name right now, but that was out in California who had like the family, like what was his name? Oh, y'all know who I'm talking about. He had like the family and they went around. Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy is who she wrote the article on. Okay. Ted Bundy is who she wrote the article on. Crazy. I didn't know none of this shit about Ted Bundy. But the other one who lived out in California back in the 70s, and him and his helter skelters. What the fuck was his name? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Nonetheless, she was like, well, how did he get? I'm like, mind control. It's a bunch. When someone has your mind, they'll get you to do anything. This man convinced a whole bunch. It was like 6 or 7 of them, men and women, to go out just slaughtering people because they were rich or because they had Charles Manson. Thank you so much, TX. All because because they were rich or they had mansions. This shit ain't over. Hey Mika, how are you? Also, I sprained my ankle the other day. This is one reason why I couldn't even get on here, because I couldn't sit down. Like sit up. I couldn't sit up. It was like really bad. It's still messed up, but at least it's good enough that I can like sit down. And also, for everyone who purchased a scarf, like I said, I can't even put shoes on, but I do have somebody coming to pick up the packages on Friday to ship them out. I need Jada to send me her address via email or in the DM also. Here in New York City, we're ending multiple contracts with the Trump organization over Capitol riots. See, my problem with this is that how in the holy hell in the New York City of us, who took his name off the building, we were screaming and telling the whole world that this motherfucker is a whole asshole savage. If you a New Yorker, you know this. You don't even got to know him to know this. A whole asshole savage. But the city allowed this motherfucker to get contracts. I need de Blasio the fuck up out of here. And I've actually never said that, because normally I'd be like, he just be all over the place. He be doing the most, but I ain't gonna hate. I've been trying to be patient with this man because he's from Brooklyn. He got a black wife. But the fact that the Trump organization was going to be responsible for multiple attractions here in the city, after 4 years of everything that he has did, after basically also saying that he wasn't even going to send vaccines to New York unless our governor apologized to him. How dare you give this man business? Shout out to every business organization that has done what our government seems to be too pussy to do. Shout out to Deutsche Bank. We just mentioned that. How you get a motherfucker is you get him in where it hurt in his pockets. Shout out to Deutsche Bank for saying, you know what? We fuck with mobsters, tyrants. We just be doing the most. But Trump, no thank you. Thank you, Deutsche Bank. Thank you for all of the companies and organizations that says we are not supporting anybody who made a complaint against our fair election system. These people are mad as hell. They mad because they're starting to slowly realize that this country is not theirs. It's ours. We built it. We're here. We're in it. Shout out to all the people from the Northeast that gentrification pushed out, that had to move to Atlanta, who went to Atlanta and turned the state fucking blue. Shout out to them. Okay, shout out to all of them people that moved down south, child. Shout out to them. This whole shit is ridiculous. This whole shit. Hey, Crowned. I'm doing better. I was done. And we know when I get aggravated, I will blow. I needed a moment. I needed a moment. I had my own things happening. Plus, Like, white people stormed the Capitol because they mad that they don't outnumber us no more. Or they're mad because we aren't drinking that 13% of the population Kool-Aid no more. That's why they be wanting to stop the census. That's why it's always a big situation, because they want to gas us to think that we can't do anything, when the reality is, I've truly believed this for a long time, and I believe it even more now. We're so fucking deeper than what, 13% of this country's population. We're deep as shit. We're deep as shit. I would say we might outnumber motherfuckers, because the middle America is empty as shit. Wyoming probably got as much people as fucking Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Not even Brooklyn itself. Just Crown Heights. All the black people here. That's what it is. Because once we started realizing our power, and we went out to vote, and all the Northerners moved to Atlanta, okay? And they started voting, and we started knocking them out, and everything, like AOC said, all of these things that has been put in place in this government to keep us down. You had all of the fucking tables stacked against us, and we did that. And we're starting to recognize our power, instead of just saying, well, we don't have no power, this person ain't gonna do it. That defeatist attitude, that's another reason I had to get off of here the other day. Because there was somebody on here, child, I don't remember who it is, don't even remind me, because I'm trying not to hold a grudge, child. There was someone on here that was basically like, well, this one is evolved and this one is evolved, and we can't do it. Like the whole trapped mentality is of white people. The whole we can't do nothing mentality, we can't do nothing but allow this shit to happen to us, is slave mentality. When I was saying, well, the Fed's about to take names, and they were, well, the Feds are the Fed, the CIA brought them over here, and the Fed, listen. That whole bullshit you spewing is why we can't get from underneath these motherfuckers' feet. Because you have acknowledged your defeat already. And I just refuse to do that. I refuse to do that. And thank God so many of us are recognizing that we have power. We outnumber people. We outspend people. If we recognize our power, it's over. If more of us recognize our power and stop using it as and stop using, us black as a detriment to us, being black as a detriment to us. That whole, half glass, half empty mentality. My glass is full as fuck because I'm black. And I come from people who built this country and Central America. What the fuck is you talking about? I can do anything that I want to do. We all can do whatever the fuck we want to do. When we realize our power, that's when we win. Look what we did. In contrast, even in our riots, look what we did in contrast to what these people, these savages did. Make demands. They ain't got no choice but to lock all their asses up. They ain't got no choice. Especially they start putting our asses in roles where we the ones locking people up. Why? Because we the only ones that can be trusted to put country over color. Ain't that a blip? Because we're black, we're the only ones in this country, in my opinion, that will automatically put country over color. The only saving grace for this bitch. And it needs to be said. And that's what we need to focus on. And stop focusing on, oh, because this is the CIA set it up and the feds ain't gonna do nothing and the bit So just let a nigga lynch him, right? Because the cops ain't gonna do nothing. That's how we got here. That's how the slaves were able to be so broken mentally that we outnumber these people, and we didn't do anything because of that mental breaking. And keep that shit on your platform. Don't put that shit on mine. If that's how you believe, that is fine. Just don't come over here with it. Hey, Soleil. Hey, Pamela. Like I said, Pam, I'm sorry, my fucking foot. But I got somebody to pick up the packages and mail them out on Friday. Hope your ankle is getting better. It's getting better. My whole foot was swollen yesterday like a fucking eggplant. But the swelling went down. This is crazy. Hey, Carmen. Hey, Fatima. Hey, iBoogie. A bunch of folks need to be in jail for this, from military to police to members of the government. Yeah. Thank you. Hit that like button. Hey, DC. How are you? She said, Jill said, I've been watching too much news. T supporters keep saying it was Antifa. No, it's y'all. People are crazy for real. Because they don't want to acknowledge what they did. And you know what's so crazy? And they have yes, there are T supporters who are saying it was Antifa, and they have other T supporters who are mad as fuck that people are trying to say it was Antifa. Because to them, this is the fucking French Revolution. This is Civil War 2.0. They trying to make up for their great granddaddy's loss. Okay? And again, in every fucking war in this fucking nation, who took up arms? We did. We're the first fucking people to die, and the first person to die in a Revolutionary War. And I believe every last war that we've had here was our black asses, because this is our shit. See how they got so much claim to this country? They thought they could storm the fucking Capitol because it's they. This is what they were saying. You see how they got so much claim to this country? I got claim to this country. Me and y'all black asses got claim to this country. Whether you came in this, whether your people were born here, or whether your people came up from the Caribbean, whether your people came up from wherever, we all got more claim to this country than any Caucasian. For the simple fact is that we built this entire continent and South America. That includes Canada too. We ain't doing for now. It's their turn. It's no nastiness. You would think it was, and then they want us to make them feel better. They want us to let bygones be bygones. This is the problem. You know why Germany don't have these sort of problems? Because they eradicated it. They shamed it. They eradicated every trace of it. While our country was over here petting people and saying, we're sorry that your slaves got taken away. We're sorry that you actually have to compete with people who are naturally smarter than your stupid white ass. We're sorry. You never had to do that before. We're so sorry. Coddling these fucking people. Maybe if they didn't coddle them 100 years ago, we wouldn't be going through this shit now. They just stormed the Capitol, and the fucking Republicans who would have got murdered too want us to coddle them. Be understanding of their fucking feelings. Listen, I comprehend that you're inferior and you're weak, and this country would do better without you. I comprehend it is scary. I comprehend. I get it. Because the world, TV, the world, your grandparents, your parents, everybody you've ever met told you were special because you were white. And the realization that no, you're not. You are a cancer. The sun doesn't even like you, ma'am. You're a cancer to this fucking country and this world, especially this country. Must be hard to accept, but that's not my fucking problem. And I don't give a shit. Get down or lay down. It is our land. It's systematic to say, listen, I agree that Congress should impeach his ass, okay? All of this pussyfooting, scared bullshit, worrying about if they impeach him, they're going to do it again. Their savages are going to stop. We don't negotiate with terrorists. America does not negotiate with terrorists. Remember that? It's law. We do not negotiate with fucking terrorists. But I guess if they're white, it changes things. Because this country will fall if they do not send a whole message to white America and lock these motherfuckers up. They should have laid their asses down when they was climbing through more windows. No, well, I was going through an emotional turmoil, and then I fell and hurt myself in front of a church. I swear to God, y'all, if my leg, y'all know I don't believe in the whole, I'm not a religious person, but I was like, child, I'm not even gonna risk hell by trying to sue a damn cop. I mean, a damn church. I hurt myself really, really bad. I've never hurt my foot, my ankle, a little light sprain or a little twist or some shit. But like when I mean the first 2-3 days, I literally had to crawl to go to the bathroom. Crawl on the fucking floor. The dog jumped on me. Y'all know I love my dog. He jumped on my leg. Bruh, I was 2 seconds away from like doing some Power Ranger move and kicking him across the room with my other leg. That's how much pain I was in. Like, I almost I tried to warm up some dumplings and almost passed out in the kitchen. My daughter woke up. And I don't do mess at all. I couldn't even take the stuff out of the pan. I had put it in the pan. She woke up with food still in the frying pan. I did cover it because I was like, the fuck. All of the, the containers it was in all on the counter. I don't do that. So she's like, what happened? I was like, I was up at 1 o'clock trying to warm up some dumplings, and literally, when you feel yourself about to pass out. But I'm okay now. Well, still limpy, but it doesn't, I can sit down. Kids said her kids are still doing school. We ordered the scarves on the website. I want to order mine to protect my beautiful new braid style. No, DC. You send me the $35 via Cash App, and then email me or send me a DM in Instagram of your address. Like I said, they're getting picked up on Friday. So if you want to put in an order, put it in before then. The website is still under construction. Like I said, I didn't do nothing for like the last couple of days. I didn't. Christy said, why did they have contracts with him in the first place? All these companies are telling on themselves, just pulling funding now. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But you know what? You got to hold them to it. Everybody heads must roll. I was watching the AOC video. Can we pull it up? Let me see if I can find it before I even pull it up on a computer. AOC Instagram live video. Hold up. Okay, she posted it 12 hours ago. Let's watch it. Hold up. Here we go. Oh, it's an hour. I don't know if we want to watch it for an hour, but let's just watch a little bit of it. Because she said a lot of stuff that I was like, speak on it, girl. She was like they would have murdered her. They would have raped and murdered her. Like the reality of what could have happened, I get it. People, white people want to live in delusion. Hold on.
Oh my goodness. Hey everybody. How's it going? Thank you for joining. I figured I would take one of the oldest democracies in the world. And you've attacked our elections. You vote to undermine them. You amplify a lie to undermine faith in our systems, in our democracy, and knowingly amplify a lie. And if you are Senator Ted Cruz, or if you're Senator Josh Hawley, and frankly, if you're many members of Congress, you cast that vote not out of genuine belief, but you cast it out of political ambition. And that is what they did. They incited an attack on the Capitol, and many members of Congress were almost murdered. Many congressional staffers were almost killed. Many children of members of Congress were there. Children. Some of them were adult children. You have folks like Congressman Jamie Raskin, who tragically, and Congressman Raskin, Jamie, is a very close, very, very deep and close friend of mine. And he tragically, and his family tragically lost their son a couple, just days before this attack. And his daughters were with him in the Capitol days after that trauma. And they nearly lost their lives too. As for myself, I had a pretty traumatizing event happen to me. And I do not know if I can even disclose the full details of that event due to security concerns. But I can tell you that I had a very close encounter where I thought I was going to die. And you have all of those thoughts where, at the end of your life, and all of these thoughts come rushing to you. And that's what happened to a lot of us on Wednesday. And I thought I did not know if I was going to make it to the end of that day alive. And not just in a general sense, but also in a very, very specific sense. And, I think it's an opportunity for a lot of us to talk about trauma as well. One thing that I can say is that in the aftermath of this, there have been a lot of counselors and there have been physicians in the house talking about the importance of some of the rapid response that happens, and that what we can do in our minds and our brains after you are exposed to a traumatic event. And I think what's really important is that, because whenever any person has an encounter where they think they're going to die and they go through that process, that is a traumatizing event. And things don't have to get that far.
I'm traumatized just listening to her. Hold up. I need a moment. Shit, I was sitting up here with y'all on YouTube and traumatized about what was happening and what it meant, to the point where I shut down. I couldn't even imagine. But you know what? these white people are starting to comprehend what it's like, what trauma is really like. When your life is so easy, like you see Meghan McCain recently came back on The View, and she was talking about all of a sudden now she understands, sick maternity leave and needing, to be paid during maternity leave now, because she experienced it, because now she just had her first kid right now. Sometimes it takes people to go through situations, and I hope that it keeps every last one of them who have done things to harm other people up at night, that they could have been murdered in the US fucking Capitol building, set up to be murdered. Okay, she was saying she can't disclose. There's so much things that we don't even know. Okay, so much things that we don't even know. But you know what we did find out today? I found this out earlier this morning. I think it was on Twitter. One of the Congress senators or whatever was in their office, and I guess they have a panic button. The panic buttons were disabled. She said the panic buttons in her office, and I'm going to assume in other people's office, were disabled. And the young staffers knew to lock the door, turn the lights off, hang and hide underneath furniture, because they learned it in schools to deal with school shootings. You see how dysfunctionally fucking ridiculous this damn country is? The staffers were able to survive because they've been trained in school shootings. Survive being in the United States Capitol building. And just days after that, they put in a metal detector. Shit, I went to high school in Brooklyn, baby. I had to go through metal detectors since junior high school. Okay? They're upset they got to go through metal detectors. Why you ain't upset that your brains would have been splattered across the fucking floor, whether you are a Democrat or a Republican? When a mob reigns, a mob reigns. Let me see if I can see the name of the senator. Oh, Ayanna Pressley. That was her name. It's literally still trending on Twitter. Democratic Representative Ayanna Pressley's chief of staff tell the Boston Globe that every panic button in her office was removed ahead of insurgents at the U.S. Capitol. They tore out the units. They can't even hire. They literally just need to hire Black people as as Secret Service, as Capitol Police, as federales. That's the only way this place gonna be safe, boy. They took out her panic button. These are fucking people who are Caucasian and went to some good school, and now they work here, and they threw their whole fucking everything, their life, their existence, their everything away over their whiteness. Throw the country away over their whiteness. I cannot. She said TX said de Blasio gotta go. Like, he really has to go. Chase pulled out too. Good for Chase. Christy said, exactly. We also can't trust the demographics that they put out because most people of color identify as white on forms. That's true. That's very true. That's very true. Because honestly, you can go by birth records. You really don't have to do the census thing. But the census thing, again, is to count. But also, how many? I am literally the only, I think maybe like one other person that I know who completed the census. Black people don't complete the census. They don't, because because we just think it's a trick. They're trying to find out where we live so they can do some fuck shit to us. We don't complete the census. I don't know too many. Only, in my opinion, only 13% of Black people complete the census. That's why they say we're only 13% of the population. We all need to recognize our worth. Sharon says she loves this live. Thank you, Sharon. I couldn't come back and just talk about some bullshit in the news today. We'll say that shit for tomorrow. I mean, some bullshit in celebrity news today. Like, I don't give a fuck. Y'all know when I want some shit, it is important. Hey, Miss Dawn. Thank you, Pamela. I really wanted to get it out as soon as possible, but like I said, I'll get it out on Friday. Hey, mommy, how are you? We're in everything. And literally, we need to be in everything. That's what we need to push. That's what we need to push. We need to push that. And I know some people won't, these are things that people don't want to say out loud, like white people are, like these white people who did this shit are treasonous terrorists and should be hanged by their fucking necks till it breaks. That is law. That's not Joe. That is law. You're a fucking treasonous terrorist and should be hanged by your neck till it snaps. That's not Joe. That is the law. The same way we don't want to say that is the same way that we should be saying that every new fucking Secret Service agent they hired should be a Black man or woman. Everyone protecting the VP, at least, should be a Black man or woman. If I was Biden, I wouldn't even trust the white men around me. Everybody in these positions, they need to. This is what happens. This is what happens when you try to disenfranchise us, the only people who truly care about this country over race. This is what happens. You end up in a siege attack where half of the police you send to protect the Capitol or who work there to protect the Capitol are down with the siege. They're down with the siege. They want to be like, these niggers took our job because of affirmative actions. No, baby. One, we don't even get shit for affirmative action. That's for white women. Black people took your jobs because you can't be trusted to do it. Because you put your race over your country. And we don't have time to figure it out. We don't have time to figure out which line you I tell y'all all the time, I automatically assume until you show me different. I don't have time to figure out if you're a decent Caucasian. You're going to show me that. I don't have time to figure it out. I'm going to take you for what your race show me. Just like they be trying to take us for what our race show us. It's them, but they only see us on TV, so they actually don't know who we are. But we see you everywhere. Everywhere. We know what you are. You are our teachers in schools. You're the policeman. We know exactly who you are. Do you know how much New York City police officers were probably down there? You know how many of these fucking Brooklyn Jews was down there? Child, they arrested a judge's son. The judge's son was up in a Capitol building looking all inbred like he want to, Orthodox Jew, child. Child, you hear marching into the Capitol building. Okay, would they be considered a person of color because, you know, they Jews? I don't know. Marching into the Capitol building next to people who thought Hitler should have annihilated you. Can we say race over country? Shit, race even over religion. He's a whole Jew. These whole Jews out here this summer, Trump supporting it up when majority of the Trump supporters wish Hitler would have finished y'all off. But again, in this beautiful country that we made, race outdoes everything. So with that in mind, race should continue to outdo everything. And the only people to be trusted in this whole fucking country is us. That's where we need to take it. That's what we need to start saying. She said, Jill said a couple days later, Mississippi's Confederate flag was officially retired. Interesting. Interesting. I feel better, y'all. I feel better coming on here talking to y'all. Who erected statues to honor treasonous losers? Yeah. Germany annihilated it, abolished it. And that's why they're able to be the way they are now. It's a damn shame that you are better off being a Jew in Germany than a black person here. And how the fuck does that work? I tell you how that works. Coddling these fucking Caucasians. You mad that some black person got a better job than you? Work more. Work harder. Because we have to work 3 times as hard as you. It's this thing I got up in the bathroom that I keep falling. Ignore it. We have to work 3 times as hard as you. They only have to work 50% as hard as anybody, child. Anybody. Any race of people. Any. Look. Can y'all see me? I'm back. Yo. Hello. I literally had to reset my internet, my TV restart, everything. I had to plug it out and plug it back in. Oh, wow. Wow. They literally shut me down. That's never happened to me before. Hold up. Let me tell them I'm back online. That's literally never happened to me before. I was probably saying something they didn't want to hear. I must have been saying or doing something, child. What the fuck? Anyway, it just shut down on me. Okay. Yeah, and I couldn't end the live because the live is on the laptop. I couldn't end it. So I'm like, okay. And then they just put me on there. A New York transit worker participated in the riots. And now the transit worker might just drive the fucking train off the rails in protest of the government, doing its job. Can we risk that? No. In so many fields and so many things, we cannot risk these hidden terrorists. They're terrorists hidden right amongst us. You know what's so crazy? Like the talking points of this shit is, listen, I don't do trauma well. I was here in New York City on 9/11. I told y'all the story before. I was on the last train out of Brooklyn on the fucking Manhattan Bridge watching the building crumble. That's traumatized me. That's real trauma. These people, Bunny said, the number of police and military involved scare me and prove they are loyal to their skin and not America or the law. Yes, that's why we need to make it be very clear that the only real Americans, the only race that seems to be 100% down for this country is us, because we built this hole. Jeremy said, it's our fault for making white people in America comfortable. That's true too. Rachel said, hey, watching from Kenya, I was shocked as the U.S. has placed sanctions on many African countries for doing the same thing. Do what I say, not as I do. You know how that go. Mark Z of Facebook and Instagram was pro-Trump before the riots. He was the first to ban them. It's bad for business because they all can go to jail. She said, I don't even know what you even do on Pinterest. You pin shit. I have a Pinterest page. I just pin shit. Like, just pin random shit. Like, I have a page on couches. I have a wallpaper page, I believe. Kitchen design page. I don't even be on there like that, but like every couple of years, I just have I like designing and stuff. So I just have a moment and I literally will spend the whole day just making different albums on Pinterest. That's really what you do. She said you just noticed it? Really? Yeah, I'm about to put something here. That's what I was saying. I'm about to put a beautiful picture of Diana Ross that I found. I'm about to find a beautiful picture of Diana Ross to put there. Yeah. So when I do that, I'll take a picture, a video of it so y'all can see it. Y'all were like, I got black screen. Y'all, shit, I didn't know what the fuck was happening. I was like, let me pull my phone up. And that's when I saw that I didn't have no internet on my phone. I didn't have no Wi-Fi on my phone. I only had the regular internet. And then I looked at the router and I was like, what the fuck? I had to unplug the router and plug it back in. You know, my computer is not set up on Wi-Fi. My computer is actually plugged into the Ethernet. So it should never be slow. It should never, you know, that should never happen. She said that happened to another live I was watching. YouTube made him delete, wouldn't let him just end it, and it's saved. Oh, wow. He said they don't want to let you be. Yeah. I didn't say anything wrong in this today. I can say whatever I want. That's the problem. Don't try to restrict us when you haven't restricted other people for over 100 years. That's exactly why they ran up on the Capitol. That's exactly why they ran up on the Capitol. Don't try to restrict us. This is the problem. I appreciate y'all for holding on because I didn't know what the fuck. I was like, look at this shit. For the inauguration. Child. I took my machete down too. I put it away. at the end of last year. I put it in the closet, you know. I was like still in reachability, but not like you come in and you see I have a fucking machete. Before it was like in plain sight. You see it was easy to grab just in case. I took it down. I put it right where it was. I unclipped it just in case I got to grab it real fast. Child, listen, be prepared. Hey, Latu, how are you, sis? Hope you're doing well. So, yeah. So, I'm going to go, after we finish this, I'm going to go in the live and edit out the black space. Hopefully, YouTube don't completely delete this because I'm going to make them review it. I didn't say anything wrong in this video. Four years ago today, I was in South Africa. Damn, my arms were so small and pretty. I need to get my life back together. My arms are so thin. I need to get my whole life together, child. I don't think you can say white or cracker no more. They will shut you down. That's what I heard. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. But it's whatever. Fuck them crackers. I'm about to be out because they dead ass shut my internet down. I don't care what nobody say, boy. They whole shut my router down. Okay. So I'm gonna get the fuck out of here before the feds come knocking at my door. Let's see, we're small in Africa. I'm looking at the pictures they posted, you know, like 4 years ago, what you were doing. And I'm like, damn, I was so thin and cute. I was so fucking cute. Like, Facebook get on my last fucking nerves. They just confirm. Ooh, did Facebook just confirm my address because they was the feds? They were just like, we need to confirm your phone number. It was just, they just sent that shit over to the federales, child. If y'all don't hear from me, then you know the feds got me, child. I ain't do nothing though. I was minding my business. I ain't run up into no Capitol buildings. I ain't do nothing but say that us. I thought I blocked this bitch. Anyway, you know when you think you block somebody, then they just pop up on your Facebook like, I didn't block you. I didn't block your soul. What happened? How do you get back in? I know I blocked you. Damn. Yes, please become a member. I don't know. I'll do a live later. I'm debating if it should be a members only live or just a regular live because I ain't stream all week. I need to get my, oh, fuck. I need to get my streams back up. Thank you, TX. Facebook get on my last nerve. They won't even let me change the name of my group. Like, they just get on my last nerves. Yeah, confirm my number. Oh, she said YouTube didn't shut your internet down. Suspect that your ISP is checking to see if they can shut down live sites just in case. Maybe. Child, I'm not saying none of that shit because that sounds just as ignorant as them. We're all grown people. We don't need coded language. This is why these fucking people are out here right now acting crazy. Coded language to say white. You can't say white. What if I have on a white dress? Can't talk about my white dress. Like, get the fuck out of here. She said, I'll be here after 6 p.m. Eastern, right? Okay. Just don't forget to send me your mailing address before Friday, ma'am. I don't have time for your shit. Anyway, I love y'all. I'll be back. I'm going to make me an English muffin and see what this impeachment do. So I'll talk to y'all later. I'm not fucking with the internet right now. Can we use the same code they use on us like thugs? I don't want to use a code. That's what you're missing. We don't have to use a code. We shouldn't have to use a code because we're not doing anything wrong. For these people to want us to want to use codes because they know they're doing something wrong. When they're in jobs using codes to try to keep us down and, they don't fit the company culture. All of that shit is code for their niggers. Okay, I don't want to have to use code. The problem is the people do not, we as Americans and our government refusing to address this shit for what it is. Anyway, I'm really trying to stay off my feet. Oh my God. Just pulling this chair up a second ago. I was like, oh, fuck. But I want to make me an English muffin and go like drink some tea or some shit. I don't know. I'll be back on later. And as always, live your life like it's golden. Okay? Because there's no other way to live it. And remember, this is our country. Okay? Ain't gonna let